Hi, we are so happy you're able to join us today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Allison Larson, one of the co-founders of OfferReady,
And I am Kristen Dell, also a co-founder and a lender here in Dallas, Texas.
and we are doing this call today because we were recently at an event and we took some awesome takeaways away. And I'm one of those people as a young mom that sometimes I don't get to go to every single event, but I always want to hear what the latest and greatest is, what people are implementing into their businesses, what people see as up and coming. And then, of course, a lot of you have been following along and are very curious to see a little peek behind the scenes of OfferReady. And so we're going to show you that today as well.
I'm so excited. So let's just jump into it. I know everyone's time is valuable, and if anyone else's May is like mine, they're going crazy. Let's talk about, I really took away a lot about AI and
Yeah.
how everything's moving there. So do we want to go into what we're going to implement?
Yeah. So well, one of the things I think we always have to be cautious of with an event is that we don't go into it and then completely throw our business plan by the wayside because someone said AI is the latest, greatest, and now we stop prospecting our realtors and doing those things. We all know that that's still key, but these things are supplemental. So my biggest takeaways from the AI portion of this was that SEO, search engine optimization, is not really where people are going anymore. For example, I just had a question about something, and the first thing I did was click my little speaker button on ChatGPT and started rambling my questions into it, which is now what more and more homeowners are going to be doing,
Mhm.
or future homeowners as they are thinking about purchasing, what this looks like, where they start, and who they should talk to. Biggest AI platforms that people are going to are Chat, Gemini, Claude. Anything I'm missing, Kristen?
Claude is my new favorite. I actually, Allison smirking at me because she knows I have a new love relationship with Claude, where I've like changed from Chat GPT into Claude. And y'all, if you have not done that, I highly recommend it. It is so much more thorough. It will put together a whole marketing plan for you. It's just saved me so much time. And Chat, which I do appreciate it always tells me how smart I am. Claude does it. It will actually give me the information that I need to know.
Yeah, if you're not using Claude for PowerPoints, you're missing out because it's like literally, I did a whole presentation actually right before this today on the condo changes. And I literally just took the guidelines and I said, make me a PowerPoint presentation and give me the bullet points on what I should talk about today.
Or is that the one you stole that I did?
No, we did a different one because one of actually, they're not even the real guidelines. It was one of my loan officers took his we took his email newsletter. It was like
Uh-huh.
your PowerPoint initially, and then we said take all this information together.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm gonna
I
be
need
honest, I
that.
didn't even pull the guidelines. That's where I got all the information from, and it was so easy to read, thank goodness, because I didn't have time to prep. So if
That you
anyone
look really
wants some
smart.
comedy hour, they can get the recording of that and watch me read the guidelines real time with everyone else. It's fun. Um, we have to be leading into AI stuff with this, and knowing our clients are going to AI for everything is just good to know. And so,
Mhm.
one of the easiest, most simple, dumbest things I've heard was to go to Chat, Claude, and Gemini and ask them, how can I get more referred by you as a lender for first-time home buyers, as a lender for luxury clients, things like that? It will literally, you guys, I did this on Monday. It will give you a list of what you need to do and go do it. Like it was like, oh wow, it really did give me a list and now I can go do it. The other big thing it talked about is that these resources are going to YouTube, to online forums like Reddit, and to Google reviews like Gemini is going to Google reviews to get the information of who to refer. A lot of us are on systems like an experience.com or something that's more automated for getting reviews. And what they pointed out, and what I have also noticed, is that in all of these reviews, clients aren't very specific or using keywords. They're
Right.
getting 10 questions on a scale from 1 to 10, this, on a scale from 1 to 10, this. And then by the time they're done, they say, like, they were great, and they post it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them aren't even going past experience.com because it's another step to then go
Right.
redo it on Google. So we actually turned off experience.com. And what we're doing, and which has been good for us because now we have a large mass of reviews, but now I need
Mm-hmm.
more specific reviews. So what we're going to do is 1 week at our post-close call, I'm going to set the framework of like, well, thank you so much, blah, 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 blah. Here's what you can expect next. And one of those expect next is that my team, I have to figure out what I'm going to call her, but not one of the people they were working with is going to text you and just get some feedback about the process. We're going to specifically text them questions that will give them prompts of what we're really looking for. For example, if you're a first-time home buyer, hey, Kristin, we know this was your very first home purchase. Congrats on your first home. As a first-time home buyer, did we answer all your questions well? Yeah, this was amazing. Every time I asked a question, and I had tons, you always answered them. And did we close on time? And with are the fees what you expected? And kind of get some of these answers out from them. And then say, what I'm hearing is this, essentially type the review for them. And then say, would you be open to posting your experience with us on Google and then sending them the link?
I love that. I do it a little differently in mine is what I do on my like post closing call, like the following Thursday. I'll connect with them, talk about the experience, and then at the end of it, I will ask them, I make a joke and say, like, I'm trying to get with the times and get my Google reviews better. If I text you the link, do you mind doing a quick review? But I think I need to change that more to add in that, like, talk, if you don't mind talking about being a first time home buyer, that would be so helpful. Because that's what
Yeah.
I learned. Like, people want to help you. We just need
Yes.
to let them know what we need to be to so they
To
can
get
help
the
us.
help. Yeah. We all know me, if there's not a system in place and it's up to me to do it, it won't happen. So that's why I have to do the tech strategy. So I'll do the call, but that way, if I miss the call, I'm on vacation or something,
Right.
my team's expectation is that they still have to go in and do
I
the
love
text.
that.
Um, my other big thing that I took away from the conference, you and I always judge a conference by how many things we got to add to our to-do list, which is a chronic illness, actually. And
Very.
this was the first event where I left going, I don't have more things to put on my to-do list. And it became so clear to me that we actually have to be deleting things from our to-do list.
I agree. I've come back and deleted a lot from my to-do list, if I'm being honest with you. But I some of the big things too, like I've learned I'm still too involved. Um, and I feel like they need me and they don't. So depending more on my team. It started when I was away. Actually, I just pretended I didn't have my phone with me for a while. And it was amazing how quickly, without me responding in 2 seconds, that they came up with the answer on their
It is amazing when that happens.
own.
We had the honor of getting to see Benjamin Hardy speak, and I texted Kristen during the presentation and was like, he's so smart. I might need to listen to this 3 times to make sure I took it all in. But also, I don't even, after hearing him speak and after reading 10x is greater or is easier than 2x and Gap in the Gain and all these books he's written, I was like, I don't know if I read the right books because this was so much more clear to me and like it gave me a different grasp and a clear vision of what I have to sprint at. And the vision I got in my head when he was talking about everything was I was picturing like a lobby of a big office building in a city, and everything has a floor and a ceiling. And if I want to take the lobby of that building and become the top floor of the skyscraper, my floor and my ceiling are still the same. The mistake I've been making is by trying to like make it bigger, bigger, bigger and fit more in, but there's still only this much room. So I need to take this same expansion of time that I have in between my floor and my ceiling and move it all the way to the top to get 10x, which means up here I need to drop all of these extra things because they're not going to fit into my floor. And just taking a couple minutes and thinking of all the things we do that are below our floor was crazy to me. Also, the amount of random gifts I send and little extra touch points we do and little things that we've been told on a stage from some top producer who knows if they even actually do that or not to do and implement that I'm like so committed to that no one's ever said thank you for. I'm like, maybe some of those are below the floor. Maybe we don't need, maybe people actually want a mortgage and they didn't ask me for 3 gifts in the process, right? Like some of
Right.
those little things that take up a ton of time.
Well, I think people too need to one, do the top three from that, but just really just spend some time. What are those top three? What would you say yours are, Allison?
Top three
Three that
things
you're getting rid of.
that I'm getting rid of. Um, my team spends a lot of time doing a lot of touch points on follow-up. And I'm getting rid of some entire sequences. Like, um, he made the comment to me, he did this like popcorn analogy, and I got to speak right after him. So he's backstage, and he made the comment to me later of, you don't have to be everyone's favorite snack in America. You just have to be the amount of favorite person's snacks that you want to sell. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't have to be
Oh,
every mortgage provider's person in America. I just have to be, for me, my goal is 25 loans a month. I just have to be 25 persons a month favorite snack, right? And
right.
so I have all these credit repair campaigns and all these renting for 5 years, then buying campaigns that drain my team's energy. I've never fixed someone's credit and they came back and bought a house with me in 3 years. We're just literally deleting that campaign. Like, we're not going to do them anymore, or they're going to be all automated, no manual labor in them. So for me, it's a lot of things like that actually off my team so that my team's floor is higher and they can better support me. There's also a few business partnerships I realized I'm in that whenever someone calls me their vendor partner, it kind of gives me the ick because it reminds
Same.
me of a vending machine and you like put $1 in a vending machine and get a Snickers or a Mountain Dew. I don't feel like a Snickers or a Mountain Dew, right? And so to me, I'm like thinking of people who seem like they own me and going, no, 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 no. We're either in partnership or we're not. And if we're not, then that's probably below my floor. So I had some clearing conversations, if you will, this week, which felt very freeing.
Yeah.
What are your things?
I probably getting rid of the same. Like I have learned, and I feel like I'm somewhat good at this, but I need to be better. It feels good to be wanted, right? Like we all want that. And it's like, oh, well, they called us for this loan and it's a down payment assistant loan. I haven't done a down payment assistance loan probably 19 years. And I found myself in that position and I was like, oh, I should have my team do that. And luckily, someone on my team stepped up and they were like, Kristen, we're not going to be good at this. This is going to like take us away from what we are good at. And like, you just need to get rid of it. And we did. And I guarantee you they had a much better experience from someone that actually knew what that meant.
Mhm.
So that, but then I also thought about a lot of what, like looking at my business and what really am I getting the most bang for my buck out of? And that's been a huge one. And if I look at everything I've done marketing wise this year, it's speaking engagements for me. Like I can do one of those a quarter and get more out of that than I can get from doing coffees with 5 realtors a week. They
Yeah,
just, I don't
for
know
sure.
why, they're just so much more impactful for me. It's such a time saver for me. It's just been a huge, huge change in where my business has gone and where I'll continue to push it.
The one thing I see a couple of people on here, one Lacey Boots, I can picture her thinking this question in her head while you just said this um about we're not best served to help that client. Well, most loan officers start to think, well, then what about the realtor? Because I don't want the realtor to think, well, now I shouldn't have send them any of my clients or whatever.
Yeah.
When in reality, most of our realtor partners have multiple referral partners. You guys, like they know other lenders and they're happy to serve that other lender. But if we are very clear on what our value is to them, and if it's Kristen's value is helping high net worth individuals, then just tell them that's what your value is, right? Like that
Well, and
doesn't
I think
have to be
they'll
negative.
respect it more. And I know mine have respected it more if I'm like, look, I can't be the best at everything. And I always, my biggest goal is obviously I want your business, but I want you to look good in your business too. And if you send this to me, I feel like you're not going to want to send me any other deals. And they
What you should
respect that because I
what you
respect
should
it.
do is you should find someone at
I send it to
rate.
someone.
Yeah,
It's
at
Sean
rate who you
Richard.
can who you know where you're like, and you call them again and your fingers are chopped off, you know?
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Um, yeah. Okay. Do you have anything else? Have we gone over everything? Our biggest
The
things?
one the one other thing I want to bring into this that I thought was really important is Todd Herman talked about playing with pressure. And it dawned on me that, our whole lives we go through these moments that have like a beginning and an end that we're working towards. Graduating high school, graduating college, go find a boyfriend, go get married, go have babies, raise your babies, potty train them, to get them to school. All these things have a finality, and all of a sudden we grow up and we're in our business and there's no finality to it. And most of us loan officers go, I'm having a great month. And then 2 weeks later, we're in the middle of the month and now we're looking at next month and we're living in, the constant, like we're living in the gap and not the gain, which we know we shouldn't do, but it's hard to get out of. And Todd Herman talked about this concept of playing with pressure. And most people, if they have a stable home base, and good systems at home, they can play with a little pressure and it actually makes them soar. And I was thinking of he trains a lot of professional athletes, right? And they have on seasons and off seasons. And I had created this little system for myself of like, I'm going to make myself sprint from January to May And then I'm going to take the pressure off a little bit and let myself play in the summer and go deeper with people and go on walking meetings and invite people to my cabin and to my pool and just have it different. But then comes after Labor Day, I'm going to put another deadline on myself and I'm going to sprint and just really run at things from September to Thanksgiving. And then around the holidays, I'm going to play again. And for whatever reason, that just gave me so much like, oh, I can do it because you knew there was a deadline and something I was working for and the ability to control the controllables. We really can't control how many people decide to refer us today, how many people got an accepted offer over the weekend. We can try and contribute to the success, but we can't completely control it. We all know all we can control is what's on our activities of our output, our talk tos, our face to faces, things like that. But to think that every single week we have to show up and be 10, 110% is just mundane and exhausting and not that fun. And so shifting my mindset around that a little bit and picking very specific goals for me to just obtain and focus on for a short amount of time and then move to the next was also really freeing.
It really is, especially as I don't know if there's men and women on this call. I have not looked, but Allison knows this right now. Like I am in a struggle with May and end of school for my girls. And it's been nice. Like I've done the work. I'm okay to be present with my family right now and really enjoy that time with them and not feel guilty about it because I've worked so hard before that. And if I miss a loan or two, a new loan or two, like it is what it is. Like I've done the work and I'm happy and I'm confident, like
Yeah.
living to be with my family instead of living to work.
And if you're one of these people who's listening right now and you're like, God, I should have done the work from January to May, start now. It's no different than, the best time to
Yeah,
go on a diet is
they're slacking
January
off.
1st. Yeah, like just start now so that maybe you can be playful and not stressed around the holidays next year. Because
Exactly.
realistically, if you start now, then that break time gets to come for Thanksgiving or, whatever holidays you have planned come fall. But one of the things that pivots really well into Offer Ready is talking about things that are below our floor. And what Offer Ready was built for is things that are below our floor. And below our floor is running the same loan summary for someone 25 times on the same property at 307 and 309. And what if it's 320? But, all of that. And then sending a pre-approval letter every single time someone loses out on a property, having to send a new one, or God forbid you're in a state where they have to update the purchase price on the pre-approval letter to match the property. And so every time there are multiple offers and they go up, you're sending multiple approval letters and how we can save you time. If you scan this QR code and want to follow along with us, it's going to bring you to essentially where you can see some of the features online, but also where you can sign up or sign up for a demo. You don't really need a demo. We're doing it right now. So you can just go ahead and sign up or follow along online. Kristen, I'll let you dive into it.
Awesome. So this is what, and for those of you who don't know, I feel like most people do on this call. Allison and I, we got together. We were at an event probably a year and a half ago at this point, and we left the event. We wanted to go have a glass of wine and enjoy some time together. And we were both on our phone the whole time, like playing catch up from the day. And we're like, oh my goodness, why does this client need 17 more sets of numbers? There has to be a better way. And then this is where Offer Ready was born. So we wanted to take away from us having to be in front of our computer and be able to be whatever you want to do. We wanted to be with our family more, be able to enjoy a glass of wine with a friend, but maybe you want to be on the golf course. I don't know what that is, but this is the solution for whatever that is. So what you do, you get on, this is what it's going to look at. You just put the client's information in along with their email, phone number, and address. If there's a co-borrower, you can add that as well. And then you start putting in the sales price that they're qualified for. The taxes you can do as a percent or an actual amount. Same with homeowners insurance. You'll see, and I believe there's a screen for this later, that it will show that you can customize all of the fees in there so it makes sense for your client. One of the cool things that you can't see on this screen, but this is the thing, it's like, okay, well, you put all this information in for a client. What if they want to change it? What if they don't qualify? This is where the real magic of this happens. You can put in lower on the screen is the max approval letter, or I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I think it shows on the next one. Oh, no, it doesn't.
Yep. So, but I'll go into the loan amounts too then. So you can do loan options. We like to do two different loan options for you for our clients. Like one, we do lowest cash to close, and that's where we're just going to show a par rate, just a normal deal. The second option we do lowest payment. So we're going to show some point options for them because we always want to give our clients options. Again, we want to do it up front. One, so they know there's options with us. Two, so they're not coming back and asking. On this, it'll say what's the max payment amount that they qualify for, as well as the max cash to close. So that's where you can play with a little bit and give the client the flexibility. You can go in, like I said, there's a way you can edit the closing costs, but if you need to do anything additional or the prepaids, you can do that here. Then that's all you have to do. It's pretty easy. It would take, I say it takes about 2 minutes. Allison, would you agree with that?
I have a training video. When you sign up, there's resources of how I explain to clients, how we set it up, how we explain to realtors, all of that in there. And me talking, explaining it, and setting it up, multitasking it is still less than 2 minutes in the training video. So a little
Yeah.
less than 2 minutes.
So then this is where the magic happens. So you'll add your realtor here and they also have access to this. So they can, if their client's like, I wonder what this house would cost, they can go in like while they're showing them the house and do this. But the client also can go in and they can play with the numbers themselves. So you'll send them this link along with their access pin, and this is what they're seeing. It will be customized to you. So you will just give us your logo. We will put that up there and they can play with the numbers. So if they want to see that 315 purchase plat price with 5% down, they'll see what that payment does as well if they qualify for that amount. If they find a house that they're ready to go on, they just type the address in right here and hit issue pre-approval letter. The client can do that and the realtor can do that as well. If you're like, oh, I don't want my client to do that, I don't know why, because your value should be way more than issuing an approval letter. You can still have it, or you can do it from your phone as well. They also can, any option you put in, so maybe you want to show them FHA versus conventional, they can compare these side by side so they can see the difference. Am I missing anything, Allison?
No, I'll just add when I'm talking with the client, what helps me avoid rate shoppers is I just say Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac set the same interest rates every single day. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are essentially the government. They don't do any favors to different loan officers at different companies. That's not how it works. They push the same rates out. It's called cash window price. The difference between how they're shown to you as a consumer is how they're marketed to you. If you want a lower rate, you can have that. You pick your rate. It just costs you more. That's what the discount points are. Or we're showing another option without discount points. There's options in between, there's options lower or higher. You choose what's best for you. But if it were me personally, in this case, yeah, I don't know if I want to spend $4,000 up front to only save about $70 a month. And they're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. It really just eliminates the rate shopping conversation down the road because we've already set the groundwork. And then this is typically then where I'll talk about our refi strategy down the road and how we're here with you for the long term and all of that. Also, when I show this to a client, I love to talk about. So I can see you had your credit pulled by a few different lenders. I'm assuming you're shopping around for a mortgage. And they're like, oh gosh, she knows. I'm like, oh my gosh, no, it's totally fine. I just want to make sure you favorite this website. I'm sure all the other lenders have sent you a PDF loan summary, which will literally do you no good on an evening or a weekend when you're actually shopping for a home and have questions about the numbers. And they're like, kind of look at each other on the Zoom, like, oh, yeah, good point. So it's a great tool to help you set yourself apart. They're a little ahead of the times and really on their team to help them win.
I love that. So, I already went over this. I'm going to skip that page. And this is the setting. That was one thing that we wanted to be very cognizant of when we build this, because we don't want to be too out of it. Like, we don't want people going out there and issuing pre-approvals and we don't know about it, right? So we have these alerts on that anytime someone logs in, you can look. My favorite one is anytime a pre-approval letter is generated, this gives you your call list of people you or your team need to follow up with. So that way you're like, oh, they issued a letter. I didn't get copied on it. Let me reach out to the realtor and be like, what's going on? Do I need to call the listing agent? Let's get on the same page. Or, when someone's playing with a lot of numbers, they're about to get serious about it and maybe put an offer in. So it's like a creepy way to know who to follow up with.
I actually tell people too at pre-approval that I do get notifications when they log in to help them so that they don't hopefully have to reach out to me and bug me for questions. My favorite thing about the notifications is clients who have been in there for months and haven't replied to us all of a sudden go in to look at numbers. That's the first place they typically start. And so we pop up on their radar. And what's great is if they're looking at numbers and they haven't been in there in a while, if they just went back to an old PDF from 6 months ago and rates were higher, and now they look at someone else's and they forget that rates move all the time, they
Mhm.
ghost me because they think my rate is high. Here, I can get ahead of it. I can update it on the back end that rates have moved because I can see they're looking at rates. Or I can call them and say, hey, I'm going to get these updated for you. I know you're looking at them. Rates move every single day, to just really stay in tuned with the low hanging fruit versus trying to, catch all the fruit and try and predict what they're doing.
This is just a copy of the email that you get when someone's looking at that a loan has been, I'm sorry, an approval letter has been generated. The message center is also great. So I don't know about you, but we pride ourselves on being very thorough in keeping our realtors on task. But I used to send out a letter and be like, hey, or an email and say, hey, so and so is approved, but they need to wait until June 15th to buy a house because they're starting a new job, or they need $5,000 in closing costs. And then I get a contract and they're like, I didn't know that. This is where you can keep all of the realtor's clients with notes on what needs to happen if there's anything important. So that way the realtor, instead of like scrolling through emails trying to find what you sent, it's all in one place for them. One thing too, although we don't want our realtors to ever work with another lender, if they do and they also use Offer Ready, it's all in there together. So all of their clients are in one place so they don't have 16 different things to log into. And then here's what it looks like for them.
So that's what it looks like for your realtor. So if Vanessa Rutz was one of their clients, they can go in and go, oh, here's all of my pre-approved clients. Here's their pre-approval letter. Here's the notes on what they qualify for. Boom, boom, boom. And it's nice and easy.
And then there's also the message center where you can go and you can speak with your borrower or with the realtor as well. And it's all in one spot. Because right now, I mean, people are texting you, people are emailing you, and here it's all in one spot because your team can have this login as well. So you can keep things in line. So just some stuff that people have said that I've worked on the product. I always laugh at Mike's from NAFS. It makes me laugh every time. Um, but we've had a lot of great feedback. And again, Allison and I have been using this in our business for a long time as well. And it has been life changing and sanity changing for us. If you are ready to move forward with it, we would love to have you as part of our team. You can just scan this, sign up, and let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything we can do to help you implement it in your business.
Also, when you're on the other side of the community, when we first started this, Kristen and I had said, I think we'll do like a once a month community call for people who are in the community. But if you appreciated like the first half of today's conversation of what we're implementing, what we're working on, we decided we're actually going to expand that, and twice a month for 30 minutes, we're going to do exclusive community calls, more interactive for just the people in our community to ask questions, grow with each other, some real-time strategy planning and things like that, not just on Offer Ready, but about our whole entire businesses as a whole.
What's
So,
working in for our
yeah,
business?
we'd love to see you guys in the community. Any questions, please reach out to us.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.